Hello, everybody. This is Alia Jamal, the love coach, coming here live for our love circle. And this is our second week around being here at 1 p.m. instead of our nighttime. I hope you guys are getting used to the new time. I definitely am. I feel like I have way more energy around this time, which is good. So I'm just gonna somebody else in. Hi, Julie. Thank you for joining us. Okay. We are all set. So today we are talking about an interesting topic. We always talk about interesting topics, but today we are talking about desire. What is desire? Now, the reason I wanted to bring it here, I know it's more heavily um, coaching type of material, and that's what we also focus on. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, very few people know what is a desire. And if we just figure out what is a desire and we understand it, we can create massive change in our life with so much ease. So that's why today, all we're going to talk about what is a desire, and you're going to walk away with. If you have studied Think and Grow Rich, and in there, Napoleon Hill talks about a burning desire. He talks about it a lot. You will understand why he's using the terminology that he's using and how you can have a burning desire. And if you don't have a burning desire yet, how to cultivate that every single day. So let's get into what does the word desire mean? So it comes from a Latin word. I learned it from my coach, David Nagel. And the reason I wanted to mention that I haven't done my own research on it, but as he have taught this to us, and it means of the Father. Now, for those of you who come from a Christian background, you do understand of the Father means something that's coming from God. That is the terminology used. For those of you who are from different cultural or religious background, it means coming from the Creator. So when I have a desire, it's not like it's me, it's coming to me from the Creator. And we're going to go deep today. So be ready to get expanded in your awareness, in your consciousness. The way we understand the word desire in the modern world, that's why it gets shot down a lot, is we think of it being greedy. We think of it in terms of lust. Oh, I desired that person sexually, or I desired this home. And when you verbalize it sometime, you get called names. You might be, depending on who you are hanging around with, you might be judged for it. You might be called greedy. That's too much. You're materialistic. And then, who wants to be that? Then we try to be like, humble person. I'll just live as middle class. It's okay. I'll just have like very, very tiny desire. I just want a paid off car and not more than that. So then we start to shrink our desire based on the feedback that we get from other people. But what truly desire is, it's inspired by your spirit, by universe, by God, whatever makes it easier for you to sit to it, to expand you, to expand life. So when I am having a desire, it's literally the divine force coming to me and wants to expand through me. Life wants to expand through me. For example, let's say if I'm living in a 2-bedroom home right now, and I have a desire to move into a 10-bedroom home. So now what's that's going to require? That's going to require increase in my income. That's the first thing it will require. It will require me growing to a level where that increase can happen. And it will require me to hiring more people. Like, 10-bedroom home, I won't be able to take upkeep. So you see, everything is expanding. Now, if I say to myself in that moment, oh, Alia, don't be greedy. Why do you need a 10-bedroom home for just two of you? What am I doing there? Life is coming through me, looking to expand, and I'm I'm shrinking back down and I'm like, no, I don't want that. So I want you to pay attention to any desire you have right now. How do you interact with it? When the desire comes to you, do you look at your bank account and you're like, you know what? That is a little too much. How about I not do this right now? And you just put it to a side. Or do you run with it? Or you're like, you know what? I think I can make it happen. Maybe I don't believe myself yet, but I think I can make it happen. Where you start to fuel it, you start to feel it. Now, at some point when, let's say, things are going, and then you're not seeing results, you'll be like, man, I thought I could do it, but I can't. Who I was fooling. Let me just go back to being the way I was. Because we are interacting with it as if it's something that's coming from me. When we look at it as as something coming from me, then I am also thinking I need to make it happen. So I am depending on myself, on my skill set, on my brain, on how much I can think. And there's a limitation to that when we are trying to just push. So what needs to change there, the shift that's going to change everything for you, when you have a desire, just give me a second, guys. So one shift that is going to happen in there is whenever you have a desire, just sit back and relax and say, God wants me to have this. And if God wants me to have this, that means the means to have it are already here. He wants me to have it. Think of it this way. If your parents said that, you're going to go to Ivy League school, I want you to do really good in your grades, are you going to sit there and think like, oh, but where the money is going to come from? Most likely, if your parents are telling you, they have already prepared a fund for you. Maybe they put money into 529 since you were a little kid and they have saved up. So as a maybe 17-year-old, you're not going to go and you try to convince your parents, no, mom or dad, I can't really go to Ivy school. Do you know how expensive it is? I don't think so. I can go. We don't do that. When your parents say, hey, I want you to go to Ivy League school, so make sure you're doing really good in grades, you're doing really good in school, we right away are like, oh, that's what my parents want to do. My job is to do really good in school. Taking it completely as a wild example. So look at it the similar way. When a desire comes to you, it's God wanting it for you. It's not you are trying to make it happen. So now the resources are also going to come from God. The ideas are going to come from God. The people are going to come from God. All we have to do is stay in that desire. And all we have to do is fuel the desire every single day. Every single day, just stay on the course. That this is what my desire is. This is what I want to do. So we're going to go deeper into that. So now so far we understand when we do have a desire, it comes from God and the means for it comes from him too. Then what goes wrong within us? Why we all struggle? If this is all so easy, why do we struggle so much? That's where our self-image come in play, because we don't see ourselves. If what I'm saying is this easy, we all would be extremely successful already. And we would have made our wildest dream come true, because we all have those wild dreams that come to us and we suppress them. So this is where the struggle comes. Now, you're having this image in your mind, let's say you're just sitting on the beach. And all of a sudden you have this image, oh my God, this can actually be my life. I can actually get a place on the beach and maybe I can be here all the time. Maybe I can spend my whole summer here. So that is you receiving the desire, and that's God wanting it for you. Now that image comes in your conscious mind. Now this I'm gonna draw out for you guys so it becomes easier. So if you're not familiar with this diagram, it's an easy way to understand conscious and subconscious mind. I have learned it from my teacher. He learned it from his teacher. I'm not creating this. So this is conscious mind and this is subconscious mind. Let's see if you guys can, yeah, I think you guys can see it a little bit. Now, when the image comes in your conscious mind. This is the image of maybe, and before we even go any further, we think in images. We all do. When I say the word apple, right away you see the image of apple. It's impossible not to do that. Of course, if you're listening to it, if you're not listening to me, you'll be having the image of something that you're listening to. So as soon as the thought comes, oh my God, I can have a beach house while you're sitting on the beach, the image comes. Now, this is the conscious mind, and here's the image. But generally, now this is kind of like, you're getting inspired from God that, go in this direction. When you're going to try to make the beach house dream happen, a whole bunch of growth is going to happen that we'll talk about. That's why desire is very important in our life. But this is your subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind, from childhood, maybe you were told a lot of limiting beliefs. That's what the limitation that you were exposed to. Maybe you have a belief, the insurance is going to be really high on the beach house. Oh, it's going to be another expense that you'll have to go through. Oh my God, like, what you're going to do in winter, you'll need another house, like all these things. Those are the beliefs that you heard as a child. They all are here. As soon as you get this, no matter how well it's coming from God, all these beliefs are going to come and they are going to kick this image out. And then after literally 5 minutes, you're like, oh my God, I'm just like such a daydreamer. I'm just such a fool. All going on in your mind, like, that's just too much. That's not going to happen for me. But then you see a beach house there. It happened for somebody. But then we just go into like, it's not going to happen for me, because what happened? All these negative beliefs from subconscious mind, they kicked it out. Generally, if you're not being conscious, all the thoughts that you're thinking and all the images that you're having in your mind, they do come from these subconscious beliefs on autopilot. For example, if you are a chronic worrier person, you just worry all the time. And you always have the image of worst case scenario. That's just how you roll. They all come from the beliefs in your subconscious mind that you have, that life cannot be beautiful for me. So I need to just constantly worry about everything. And you're going to have images of like, oh my God, what if there's an accident? What if my house gets on fire? What if this happened? What if my house gets flooded? All those kind of crazy scenarios are going to keep running in your mind. So that's what the image stays most of the time. That's why it becomes a challenge for us to hold on to our desire. That's why we hold on to our desire maybe for like a minute or two, and then it disappears. And that's why Napoleon Hill, he talks about the burning desire and how you need to cultivate that within you. So now, what can we do if we want to hold on to our desire, if we want to live the life that universe wants us to live, if we want to live the life that God wants us to live? What needs to happen then on our part, as because we are in a human body right now. Human body, it has own specific mechanism that it uses to create its reality. So that is the interaction between the energy part of us and the matter part of us, and how we create our reality. And that happens when we master this part. When we master our conscious mind and we understand our subconscious mind and what's sitting in it. So let's say We're just going to work with one thing so you understand how you can change it for yourself. So let's say you want a beach house. I want a beach house. So let's just work with that. And then in your family, no one ever had a beach house. Let's just assume. In my family, no, nobody has a beach house. So you have no memory of it. For example, if your aunt or uncle or if your parents have it, so you can just be like, they can have it, I can have it. You have memories of playing on the beach. So it's very easy, because why it's easy? It's sitting in your subconscious mind. Taking it from here to here, so much easier. It automatically happens. Not much effort is required. But first we have to find out what's sitting here. So there's no beach house in the family. So I can't really use that. Don't even know somebody who has it. So there is another negative point sitting there. So basically the belief that is sitting there, I cannot have it because I don't know somebody who have it. So I cannot have it. Other people can have it, but I cannot have it. That belief needs to shift. If that belief does not get shifted, the desire just stays in the ether. It never becomes mine. All the desire that universe wants for me, God wants for me, they all just stay in ether unless things start to shift in my subconscious mind. If I am not shifting that, they can all just stay here. Some things would just happen with the mass consciousness. So we also have mass consciousness at play. This is like the energy we are surrounded with. That would include every single human living on the face of the planet Earth right now. All their thoughts combined together. So there's some happy thoughts, there's some sad thoughts, there's some wonderful, there's some desires of like, yes, I created, I have a beach house. So then it's left on the chance of if my frequency would be in the right match to receive it. That's how most of us live. Most of us live by chance. Whatever God will give me, I'll take it. But then if I'm not changing anything here, God is giving me everything at all the time. Why I'm not having all of that? Because I am living with mass consciousness. So understanding the desire, we are going to change that today, or I'm going to attempt at changing that today and help you guys understand it. So now that I know that I have a belief that I cannot have it, other people can have it, but I cannot have it. So that is the belief. Just looking at what's going on, where I'm coming from, I know that that belief is there. Now, one of the ways to change subconscious belief is once you know what it is, you create the belief that you want. So the belief that I want is I can have a beach house, or I have a beach house. I already have it. That's why a lot of affirmations, they work as you already have it. That's why they are written the way they are written. So when I say I already have the beach house, by that repetition, two ways that we change our subconscious mind is constant spaced repetition or sudden emotional impact. Constant spaced repetition would be I keep repeating it over and over and over and over, or it could be a sudden emotional impact where maybe my friends threw me a surprise beach party. Today I'm really dreamy. Surprise beach party, and they rented a beach house, and all of a sudden I'm in this house, and for the night it's ours. So that would be excitement, extreme excitement, sudden emotional impact paired with the desire that I wanted. It's going to edge in my subconscious mind. It's going to stick there. It will get convinced, or I'll be repeating it over and over and over. I have a beach house. I have a beach house. Generally, it's about 90 days that we repeat something. It starts to become part of our subconscious mind, or you can do it as long as it takes for it to become part of your life. I have tried both. I usually let it go at 90 days because I am working on multiple things at the same time. So let's say once the belief shifted here, became the positive belief here. Now, the image I can hold here with my own will, the image of me being in a beach house, and I can hold it. It's not going to get kicked out by my subconscious mind. I can hold it, I can keep it there, I can go in it, I can dream in it, I can be with it. Now, when I start doing that, and I'll be doing that every single day when I'm doing it, I wake up in the morning and I imagine how would it be to wake up in the beach house and live there, and coupled with that's what God wants me to have. Because another force that would be, let me mention it now, another force that would be going against it, it's greedy to want so much. And I think pretty much all of us have that belief handed down to us from the previous generation or from somebody else, somewhere hidden in our subconscious mind, that that is being too greedy, don't ask too much. Why there's so many other people, they don't even have one house and you want 5 houses, what's wrong with you? You're becoming materialistic. All those beliefs would also have to be dealt with. So you just have to look at whatever desire is coming to you, what could be in your subconscious mind that's going to go against it. And then you'll be taking care of all of them, changing them into positive beliefs by repetition. You can say, for example, the thing that we have against wanting so much more, greedy, you can just use this one belief over and over, part of your affirmation, I am prosperity. I find that belief to be so beautiful in a way where this universe is abundant. We live in an abundant universe. So if you have 5 houses, that means you finally align with the universe. Universe is abundant and you're abundant. And there's nothing wrong with that. And not judging people who are not at that level, not judging yourself if you're not there yet, but really realizing we do live in an abundant, prosperous universe. And there's nothing wrong with that. If we are not in harmony with that, then there's something wrong with us. But if we are in harmony with that, there's nothing wrong with it. So I hope that can be a fast way to switch all of those beliefs in one shot. But now you should be able to hold the image with no problem, pretty much, because there's no force against it. So when you're holding that image, there's a force moving through you all day long, all the time. It has no choice but to make that image a reality. So pretty soon, you're going to have your own solid version of a beach house. Now, how long will it take? It really depends. It really depends where you are in your growth. For some people, if they already have a couple of houses and they just need to figure out where to buy it and what to do and few things they need to tweak, they can have it in 2 weeks. For someone who is living on rent and they don't even have one house, it might take them a year, or they might have it by next summer. So depending on where you are. Now, the next piece I'm going to get into why we need all this and why desire is so important for every human, and why it's designed the way it designed. So let's get into that. So now when I'm going to listen to the desire, when I'm going to hold that image, and when I'm going to stay in my power that this is what I'm creating, what's happening within me? I am growing. I am growing as a person because I'm clearing out my subconscious mind. I am letting go of those limiting beliefs. I am bringing in beliefs that are in alignment with the universe. And what is that doing to me as a person? It's bringing me closer to aligning with my true self. It's bringing me closer to align with God the way He created me in as his image, if that is the right terminology for this group. He created me in his own likeness and image. He's abundant. He created me abundant. But when I came in this world, I saw all these limitations and I was like, oh my God, I am limited and so small. So he's sending me all those inspiration, those desires. Hey, you are unlimited. And if I grab it and if I start working on what is within me that's holding me back from having it, and I start cleaning up my subconscious mind and working with a coach too, or a mentor or somebody who can guide me, and I'm cleaning that up, what's happening? I'm becoming more of my true self. I'm aligning with the universe. And by the time I'm going to have a beach house, I am going to be such an expanded person than when I had the vision at first, when I was just visiting the beach with my book, just ready to have a relaxing day. Maybe the distance between the two events is a year, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. But in those 5 years, I expanded as a person. I discovered how unlimited I am. So whenever desire comes to you, it comes so you can expand, so you can grow. Otherwise, we'll be stagnant and we'll be miserable. And we all know somebody who's stagnant and they are miserable and they are depressed, because humans are not supposed to be that. We are supposed to expand and grow. We are not supposed to stay this tiny or small. So that expansion is happening, that alignment is happening with the power that created us. And we are coming closer to who we really are. So every time you're saying yes to that desire, you are really saying yes to growing and becoming more like how you were born. You're ready to let go of the lies that you have bought into, or that were told to you and you thought they are the truth, but they are not. Another thing that desire does, it gives direction to your life. So when you have a desire, what comes with it, to make it solid, a goal comes in front of you. A task, a target that you have in front of you. It gives you direction in your life. For example, when we were little, the goal was to pass the first grade, second grade, third grade, pass the high school, then, pass college, and then hopefully with a higher GPA, and not just pass, and then it's go to graduate school. And then when you're done with college, I don't know if you remember that. I remember when I graduated, I felt so empty. It felt like there's no goal in front of me. All I have to do is just go to this job, come back home, go to job, come back home, do every day exact same thing. For me, life became very, very boring, like really, really boring, because that's not how we human are. So what I ended up doing, I continued study. I just started studying different things. So I kept studying, nothing to do with my field. And that's why I am still studying every single day. But our desire gives us direction. So that is God giving you direction to your life. It does not get any more sacred than that. Your desire is sacred. It's God telling you this is where you need to go. So if you have a desire to write a book, if you have a desire to have a 10-bedroom home, if you have a desire to have your own personal jet, that's God giving you direction. Hey, go in this direction. And when you go in that direction, you're going to expand and come in alignment with who you truly are. That's why desires are so sacred. We cannot call them greed, my friends. We cannot. We cannot call them lust. We cannot call them any of those names. They are sacred. When you have a desire, like this is how I feel. You don't have to take my belief. I believe That is when God talking to me, when I have desire. To me, it's so special. And if you are not doing it already, I would have a separate, journal. So for me, this is my desire journal. It's one of the fancy journal that in all the ones that I have, this is the fanciest one in all of them. This is my desire journal. Whenever a desire comes to me, I write in it what the desire is, and then I just play with it, how it's going to come true. And I see if there's more inspiration there, and I write it down. And if my current version looked at it, it would be like, oh, that's way out of the reach. But now I have a direction to follow in my life. If my desire is to, have a personal jet, it's not, but let's say it is. Now I have a desire. Now I have a direction that I want my income standard to raise to a level where I can do the upkeep of having a personal jet and doing the personal air travel. So that is God telling me, hey, Alia, you're gonna make sure you expand to that level where you can have this. And now what would be required? It would require me finding the mentors who have done it or who know how to expand to that level. Keep learning. What needs to shift within me? What are the beliefs that I need to let go? What are the parts of me that need to heal? So I don't worry about other people judging me when I do have that personal jet, because we all know somebody somewhere in your life who just did really well and everyone else started judging that person. Oh, they just came up with this easy money and whatnot. We all have heard of that. So unconsciously, that belief sits within all of us, and it's our job to clean that. So the desire that we all have, it's sacred. The desire that all we have, it's giving us a direction in life. And the desire that we have, it's our responsibility to clean up our subconscious mind and hold that desire in our conscious mind. Not as I'm not sure if this will come true. I'm not sure if this is what I really want. No, with unshakable confidence, this is exactly what I want, and I know I'll get it because it's coming from the one who created me, and the universe is supporting me. Another piece that I wanted to mention, which is really mind-blowing once I understood it. You might have all heard of it before, but once I really understood it, it changed the way I look at life. A desire is not going to come to you until the path to achieve is already clear. So if I'm having a desire to have a beach house, the path to achieve it is already clear. It's not that, there's so many hurdles that I have to jump through to get to it. The path is ready. That means I am ready to expand to that level. So what is required on my part is understand that it's sacred, and I need to clean up my subconscious mind, because that is something God is not going to do, universe is not going to do. I'm responsible for that. That's where I get to grow and hold that image consciously in my mind, so the God-given mechanism that I have, it can create that for me. It can pull in the energies that are going to make it into a solid material. So this is what we wanted to talk about, desire. One thing, if you don't get anything from this talk, just remember this: when you have a desire, it's a sacred thing. It's life giving you direction. All the resources are there. What you need to do on your part is let go of the lies that you've been holding on to. Get some support if possible. Reach out to me if you want to talk about anything at all, and then keep moving on that path. One thing about desire, you need to fuel it every single day all by yourself. The desire comes to you, God told you, hey, this is the potential, this is what you can have, the path is open, it's a green light. Now, let's say 1 week I stay in it and I'm like so happy, so excited, and the next week something happens in my life, the child gets sick or something else comes up. And, I start to kind of lose that excitement. And then the beliefs are coming back, and then the mind is getting foggy, and the image is disappearing. Those are the things I need to take care of. I'm responsible for that. God provides us financially. We provide ourselves financially. I need to make sure I stay so much in calm and peace and grounded that my mind stays clear and does not get chaotic. That's my responsibility to keep working on it every single day. So if you do already have a desire, you're aware of it and you're working towards it, check in with it occasionally, maybe once a week. Sit with yourself and be like, how fiery or active this desire is and how I can make it more active. For example, back to the beach house. If you don't even have a house yet, beach house seems like, so distant. And it'd be like, do I really need that? I'd rather just get one home. I'd rather get just like, a home in mountain. So we start to kind of justify it and the desires start to fade away. It's my responsibility to keep it fiery, keep it a burning desire. So that would require me sitting with myself and really checking in. Yes, I want that. God wants it for me, because if I let it go, I also let go of the potential growth that was going to come with it. So I might justify like, I don't need another house. If let's say I already have so many houses, I let go of the potential growth that was going to happen through it. So it's my responsibility to keep my desire active, check in with it weekly, daily, monthly. I do a lot of visualization. So for me, it stays pretty active. If I don't visualize for a couple of days, I start to go down. That's just how I work. So I make sure that I don't give more than a two-day gap to do my visualization. So if you do have a desire you're working on, I would highly recommend at the end of the day, right before you close your eyes or go to sleep, just sit on your bed and really go into that picture, go into that scene and feel it. How would it feel when I would have already walked into that beach house? What color the decor would be? The more you're going to add to it in terms of details, the more real it's going to feel. What you're doing in that visualization, you're convincing your subconscious mind, I already have it. Your subconscious mind does not know what is present, past, or future. When you're visualizing it every single day, it starts to get convinced, oh my God, we already have a beach house. So it let go of those negative beliefs that we are holding on to. So I really hope that this conversation has sparked your desire a little bit and you're open a little bit more to dreaming big and giving yourself permission to say yes to your desire. And, no matter what, never back down, because it's going to help you find your unlimited self in the process. So I'm going to stop the recording.